Just straight.
Yeah.
Grant, obviously it might be a frustrating day because you guys played really well and you knocked out, like Ronwin said, 4 points is usually enough for some people to progress to the next stage. Just how do you reflect on this tournament overall?
Yeah, I think a good learning experience for us. A tournament that showed us, that we are capable and that we have the talent to compete, and we surely did compete. I think with all the games played, I don't think we were humiliated or over dominated. To be honest, we just ran out of time.
What was the toughest fixture of all three? Obviously, Ulsan, Dortmund, which 7 goal thriller. Maybe as a defender, don't want to be conceding that many goals, but still getting poaching their defense as well, and then Fluminense.
Yeah, I think in terms of quality, obviously Dortmund was the hardest one. A lot of good movements off the ball, very good, and they're very clinical in front of goal. And it's a game of small margins. I think the difference between us and being at the top, is the efficiency. We need to be a lot more efficient and a lot more clinical when we play for us to compete with the best.
I would imagine that the aches and pains is a bit more here with the physical intensity, the strength of the opposition, because you can see it's a different level.
Yeah, definitely. But we're used to it. Yeah, we're used to it. It's not something that is new to us. Obviously, it's more consistent than what we used to back home. But yeah, it's something that we're used to.
Grant, the learning curves for you guys as a group, and maybe even for you personally as a defender that's always wanted to play at the highest level?
I think to believe in ourselves a lot more. Sometimes we watch things on television and we think we can't get there. And we were able to come here and compete and do very well. Put South Africa on the map, put Africa on the map, put the identity of Mamelodi Sundowns on the map. And it's something that we can be proud of. Obviously, a lot to learn, like the mistakes that we made. Not being clinical in front of goal, and it's part of football. But we stick together. We're a big group. A lot of brotherhood here, and we can be proud of our efforts. Obviously disappointed to not have gotten through to the next round, but this is something we can certainly build on.
Is this a motivation? Because obviously you guys need to do well in the CAF Champions League for this club to be back at this stage again. So is it motivation to go back into Africa and just really smash it and get the club back here?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, unfortunate in the CAF final, but that's where we are. That's where we want to compete. That's where we want to stay. That's where we want to dominate. And next season affords us another opportunity to go try and do that. So for us now is to be thankful for the season. Get some good rest, a good 2-3 weeks out, and then come back refreshed. And ready to fire again.
This final one for me. Were you surprised by how much you were handling Fluminense today? I think you guys had close to 60% possession. It was one of the teams that all of you guys were looking forward to face.
Yeah, definitely. It just shows that, with our identity, sticking to what we know, we can cause a lot more trouble to other teams, and we can be proud of how we played and how we did. Yeah.
Grant, I was going to ask, you talk about taking that break, but just how focused would you still have to be and switched on? Because when you come back, Ronza was talking about the competitions that you were in, reaching a lot of cup finals, but at the end, really only just taking away the Betway Premiership, but playing at such a high level as a Sundowns team.
I think it's going to be tough, but I think it's a well-deserved break for us. We fell short towards the end, and we know where to improve, we know what to do. And that's why I say next season affords us an opportunity to better what we did this season. It's obviously sore for us to work so hard, get to finals, and not be able to lift the trophy, and it's a hoodoo that we need to overcome. But we can be proud of our season. Ended off well, playing against the best in the world, competed. A lot of talk about us, and I think from here it's just taking this confidence and taking it back home. And yeah, just smashing everything.
Thank you.